So welcome, McAndy. This is great to have you as an early participant in these podcasts. You set up your organization, ThinkRaven. So tell us a little bit about yourselves to start with. Who are you? What made you decide to start your own business?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So my name is Mick Andy Duclos, founder of ThinkRaven, and our company is essentially a video production agency. So we work with a number of different brands, helping them launch specific products from the digital space. And the reason why I got into it, it started in high school. So essentially just shooting videos with a group of friends and family, and then snowballed into working with different brands, smaller mom and pop type shops, and then it slowly snowballed into working with bigger companies. Um, a part of the process that I enjoy the most is having the combination of a creative deliverables that we're working with our clients on, and then actually solving specific business problems. And I find that doing that through video, whether it's video or photography or design, whatever it is, using that creative outlet to do that is the best part of the process that I enjoy.
And I have to say, you have a great name for the business, ThinkRaven. So
Thank
how
you.
did you get to choose ThinkRaven?
Well, one important aspect of our business is not the creative aspect from just shooting the videos or doing the photos. It's actually the strategy portion of that. And ravens being one of the smartest birds out there, crows and ravens, they're in the same family. And I thought that was a good correlation of strategy and being smart and thoughtful. So ravens are great. And then of course, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, so I had to sneak that in there somehow. So
I love it. I love it. I'll let you off for that one. um, you talk about strategy. Obviously you have to therefore keep an eye on things that are changing. So if you're looking at, say, industry trends, what shifts are you seeing in the industry? It may be AI related, but hopefully there are some that are and some that aren't. So what are you seeing, maybe in creative or even in marketing agencies as a whole, as it comes to these trends at the moment?
Yeah, so of course, like you alluded to, AI is definitely a big part, but I would say another area too is the creator economy. So a
Hmm.
lot of creators, just individuals from influencers on social media or Instagram, they're having a lot of power and influence in working and collaborating with brands directly. And this has always been something in the past, but I think even more so now, especially with the algorithms changing, you don't even have to have hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram to have reach, because one video can go viral and brands kind of bet on that. So we've definitely seen a shift in at least in the marketing industry, in the creative space, where
Hmm.
brands are more likely to spend a big portion of their budgets on working with creators on UGC campaigns. And when it comes to the AI part of things, I think that's definitely a trend, I think, across different industries. But when it comes to the tools like VO3 and ChatGPT that allows you to create visually stunning images just using text, I think is huge. We've definitely tried to implement it in our process, but I think working with different brands, they start to think that they can just use those assets for their creative and marketing campaigns. And I think that takes away from our budget. It takes some market shares in our industry as a whole. I think there's still going to be a place for us here, but I think I would be naive to say that it's not taking a little bit of market share in what we do. Yeah, the biggest ways we've tried to implement AI, it's more so how to streamline our process and our operations.
Hmm.
One, to increase our margins, because in the production space, we're spending a big portion of our budgets back into the projects themselves. And being that AI's in the market, essentially we have to move a lot quicker. So having the ability to onboard a client, instead of taking hours or days, we can do that in a couple of minutes, and we're able to essentially put back that time back into the project itself. So I think that's a big area that we've implemented AI, and just making sure that we can move a lot quicker. And being that budgets might get smaller a little bit, increasing our margins is super important. So even though that the budget might decrease, we're still able to be a little bit more profitable working on these projects.
That's cool. So let's look at how you're doing at the moment. You've talked a bit about it. So what things are working well for you?
When it comes to just utilizing the AI?
Yeah. Well, even as a business, AI and actually the strategy and the delivery of your creative ideas.
So I would say it's when it comes to the creative front, it's making sure that our clients understand our vision, utilizing these AI tools, generating images to convey a point that we wanted to that might have probably taken us a long time.
Mhm.
Or sometimes, we're pitching ideas and the clients just don't get it. And we may not win projects because of that, because they couldn't just envision what we're thinking. And now utilizing tools like AI tools, we're able to conceptualize different ideas a lot clearer. And I think that provided a lot of clarity with our clients and getting awarded projects or, creating proposals.
Which makes a big difference. So
Yeah.
if you were to look a little bit into the future, say 12 months, as looking a year ahead, where do you see ThinkRaven in 12 months?
Yeah. I would say back in 2018, we really worked really hard to try to not focus on making video or photo our actual
Mhm.
service. It's more of the results and the end product, and positioning ourselves as a creative partner. And especially now with AI and the way the world's moving, as companies are more inclined to do things themselves in-house with these tools, I think we're still uniquely positioned to still be partnering with these companies from a strategic standpoint. So I see us doing, I still want to be super involved in the creative sense,
Mhm.
but I see ThinkRaven working closely with these companies to help them strategize from a higher level, their content strategy and just their marketing strategy as a whole. So I see us doing a lot more of that. I actually see us utilizing AI SaaS products and building them in-house to help other creative agencies like us utilize our tools to help them with their projects. So that's something that we're looking to invest in the future. Um, but yeah, I would say that's one of the
Yeah,
biggest points.
yeah, and that makes sense. So I'm thinking out loud. You obviously have a strong understanding of the creative. Have you had to develop your understanding of other elements of the go-to-market marketing side for these customers so that you can look at the overarching strategy?
Yes, of course. We have to look at it from like a full funnel perspective and
Mhm.
understanding where their customers and their buyers are. And it's looking at it from the typical sales funnel, which you might be aware of, and it's the awareness, consideration, decision, and retention, and understanding what specific business problems each customer is having in each stage and why, and whether that's using video to solve that specific KPI or problem. Um, we we pretty much got started working with crowdfunding companies, and we we understood how to take a product that no one has heard of and then launching it and then scaling it. So our understanding of that from the offset really put us in a position to do more than just video, whether that's marketing services, if that's strategy as a whole. So we had to understand every aspect about marketing, not just the creative aspect. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that does. So what are the one or two things that you're going to really focus on to make the next 12 months really successful for you? What are the one or two really major challenges you're going to have to achieving what you want in the next 12 months?
Sure. A challenge that I foresee in the next 12 months is probably client acquisition, I would say,
Hmm.
because even when we're currently marketing, we find that a lot of our prospects are being bogged down with a lot of these AI tools, these cold email outreach campaigns that they're receiving, and it's flooding up their email inboxes and making it a lot harder to cut through the noise. So that's one of the biggest things that we're looking to navigate through is, well, how do we cut through that noise and reach our ideal customer? Because with these tools, everyone is able to essentially target their ideal customer. and it makes it harder to actually cut through that noise, essentially. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges for us this year, and we've experienced in early 2025, is trying to navigate through that.
And have you thought of any ways of, have you thought of some ways of doing it, of ways to differentiate yourself?
Something we're always trying to figure out every single day. But I think it's providing a lot of value up front is one of the biggest things. And it takes a lot more upfront time to do, whether that's reaching out to an ideal customer and providing them maybe a mini strategy up front, like, hey, this is what we've done for this client, and this is what we think we can do from you, and actually providing tangible things that they can take away from that email or that call. Even if they don't decide to work with you, they can still take what you said and implement it in their business. And I think that's the biggest thing, because we would get a lot of cold emails saying like, hey, we've helped this client with X and X, and we can do this for you. But I think you have to do a lot more than that, and is actually providing tangible value up front that they can take away from it. And I think that's the best way to cut through the noise.
Yeah, if you know, Alex Hormozy talks a lot about that. 3 gives and an ask. You've really got to give something a bunch of times before you can even ask them to move forward with you. So
exactly.
Makes a lot of sense. And what other challenge do you see in addition to that? What other challenge do you see that you're going to have to address? Say you get the customers, say you work out a way to do this. What do you see your challenges then as you try and grow?
Well, I would say it's the fulfillment side of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Customers are looking to get things a lot quicker, and being able to do that at scale is always going to be a challenge without sacrificing quality. And like I mentioned before, if there's a way we can streamline our process, whether it's client onboarding, if it's project management or delivery of our scripts or whatever it is, if we can speed up that process, we're able to handle a lot more projects at any given time. And I think that would be the biggest challenge. As we solve our client acquisition, the next bottleneck is going to be managing the amount of projects that we can take. And another area too that I can see us really investing in is just providing or executing a lot of content. And one thing that I'm looking to do is being the face of our agency and providing just founder-led content. So, it's more of a way that you can provide trust to your customers even before they sign on with you. Seeing your face, talking about the case studies that you have, or the types of projects you work on through social media. That's another avenue of marketing that we're looking to implement.
Yeah, I've seen you do that recently on LinkedIn. I think you gave some examples of what you've been up to.
Yeah, and I think it's important. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting time. The challenge of AI is I think as you mentioned when we were chatting earlier, it's a little bit like the internet. It's here, it's coming. It's you adapting to it and accepting it and working how to use it.
Yep.
You seem to be setting down that path to get there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in my network that try to go against the grain. They'll see something from VO3 and they'll make a comment like, "Well, I can still tell it's AI," and they criticize it. And while that may be true, in 5 months, a year, you probably won't even tell the difference. And to your point, I think this is like the start of the internet. I think this is like a gold rush opportunity. So really investing in understanding AI as a whole, and not to replace what you do, but to help support it. I think that's what's going to set us apart with your competitors and cut through the noise.
Yeah, and I think I've read somewhere the important part is that it'll mean that the AI will help the person and your ability shine through, because everything else will be helped and done for you. But it's that strategy, that leadership, and that person-to-person interaction isn't going to go away.
Right.
You're going to have to excel at that when you want to excel.
Yep, exactly.
Cool. Well, I really appreciate you giving your time and talking to me today, and I'll be sharing this with everybody else. And I look forward to catching up with you again.